Welcome to Poor Brothers Decisions.
Good evening, everyone.
What's happening, guys? What's happening?
All right. Again, it is Saturday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is Poor Brothers Decisions. Co-host Mr. 3, Mr. Zed right here. And again, that intro was by Hoopy Star, and I appreciate everything that he did to help us out with that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ace, I just had something with Ace. Give me a second here. All right, for everyone that does not know, Ace has a kick-ass show of his own. Um, Ace's Dumb Criminals. I'm about to put his Dealy Bob up here so you guys can go take a look at him. A lot of his stuff is hilarious. In watching these criminals act a fool, I know that he had a deal the other day where he was in a courtroom. Check him out. He's got some cool stuff out there, and I will make sure that I throw that out a couple of times during this show. At any rate, Mr. 3, your week. Tell me about your week.
Uh, it's been pretty busy, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just without getting into too much detail, it's been busy. It's been pretty hectic, and trying to maintain my stuff and trying to help the new guy get in and get his feet settled and wet and start rolling around. So, um, and this weather is just crazy. It just sucks.
I think that's the part that's kicking my ass the most is the weather.
It's cold, man.
Um,
I think on my way home today at uh, 12. Let's see, 1 o'clock. It was like 5 degrees. So
yeah, that no. It was 40 something today. Yesterday it was 60.
I'd be in shorts and a t-shirt. Okay.
Uh, it the cold weather needs to go away. If someone gets a hold
Hey,
of
Waffle.
someone gets a hold of Pixatani Phil, I got a smoker. Uh, I'm game to try some groundhog. I am. No, for me, good week. Wasn't bad. Just little hiccups here and there. Um, had to change my day off from earlier in the week to later in the week, and it's not something I normally do. And because of that, uh, end up waking up late and going, all right, why is the store not open right now? And going, hey, and then they
Oh,
go, uh, I'm not supposed to be there. I
is that
went,
who I think it is?
wait, hold up.
No, is that
That,
Sis's?
that's that little blonde that used to live around the corner from us.
Yeah,
That's sis number 2.
yeah.
No,
Wow, I don't think I've talked to her in ages. I mean,
it's
ages.
definitely been a minute.
20 years, probably.
Uh, we got Mama T, we got Waffle Salter. Hey, thank you for coming in again. We got Ace's Dumb Criminals, Shelly. Thank you for coming back. Um, I'm pretty sure that we're probably gonna see
Mrs.
Grim here a
Mrs.
little bit.
Ed.
Oh, there she is. Miss Zed's in the house. But yeah, uh, Miss Carol, thank you for coming in. Uh, wait, you sent a video. Uh, you sure did. I just got this. We're definitely going to throw this up here. Wait, is that going to work? Yep, that might work. Let me just make sure I can get this to open up, sir. Well, that looked weird. All right, so yeah. All right, we got that to work. We're definitely going to play this one because I have not seen this one. So we're going to play that one just a little bit later.
Sorry to hear about that, Mr. Salter, Waffle Salter.
Uh,
We're gonna have a drink with you. How about that?
oh, wow.
Very,
Hey,
very sorry to hear that.
Waffle, been there. I don't know if you can see this right here. This is something that Katie Zed got me. That's a Fritzy. Yeah. 14-year-old.
I'm gonna go with some dripped out maple.
All right.
Okay. And
I've got some on backup just in case. However, I think I'm going to start off with some JP Weisers.
but I'm gonna put I'm gonna do something a little different tonight. We talked
yeah?
about it, so I'm gonna do
Oh,
it
that's
tonight.
right.
I'm gonna smoke mine. Let's see, and I'm gonna use the maple.
No, you said pecan.
I'm sorry, pecan.
Yeah.
I meant I'm gonna run the maple with the pecan.
So when you and I said something about that earlier, and I went, "Hey, um, that sounds like that maple pecan syrup that we would get at like I don't know, like IHOP or something like that," and they don't have that no more.
Can you see her? It's actually even coming out of the glass still.
Oh, look at that! Here, let me throw that back up there. I'm gonna flip that around so that you can show the folks a little bit easier.
Well, I'm also gonna try and get my new glass involved too.
Oh, there you go.
My poor brother's glass that my wife got me
There it is.
for Valentine's. Oh,
Valentine's.
yeah,
Is that coming up soon?
it is next week, and the wife's not going to be here.
Where's she going?
She's going back home for ready.
Oh, it's gonna be a little bit warmer, huh?
Lucky dog.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Um, cheers.
Almost.
So,
Cheers, sir.
waffle to you and to the show. All right.
Oh wow.
So we have a request, and the request is no jingling of the ice inside the glass and no spinning your glass on your fancy little coaster.
I got rid of it.
Oh, don't get rid of it. That's a cool ass coaster.
No, I got rid of it. I moved it somewhere else, so I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Just so I wouldn't be tempted. See, it's way over here.
Okay. I can tell you that someone near and dear to our heart said that it got to a point where it was messing with his ears, and he had to turn it off for a little bit.
Mm.
And he looks a lot like you. I've been told I look a lot like him as well. So, yeah, we kind of want the old man to come back and hang out with us a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt.
He'll, but whatever it was messing with his ear, and he went, "Yeah, I'll come back later." So, I'm just gonna ask we don't jingle jangle because I know I do the same shit. If I got a piece of glass in the ice or a piece of ice in my glass, I'll jingle it a little bit or I'll fumble around with something. So if you guys hear something in the chat, let us know because we don't do this shit professionally, except the drinking part.
And that's not even that professional.
So
It's
anyway,
once a week for me. So
once again, thank you, Hoopy Star. I don't know if you're in the chat. Didn't see you pop up yet for the intro and the outro. Really like it. Again, go ahead.
You were saying your week was pretty good.
Oh yeah, it wasn't too bad. With the exception of that early morning where I should have been at work and I wasn't. I had someone all ass up there, get the place open on time. I show up a few minutes later. Uh, it's little things like that where the team has your back, which was nice, um, because I know I've done a couple of things for the team, and knowing that I had their back, and then it turned around and they had mine, that was good. And I don't normally oversleep, and I don't mess up my schedules like that. That's not something that happens.
Hey,
Uh,
Roger. Thanks for coming in, bud.
hey, Grim, how we doing? Roger. Um,
You gotta swap the screens back because it's messing with Grim. There you go. He was all confused.
well, um, but what was that? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Which is the whole reason for the entire fuckery to begin with earlier in the week. The missus and I went to a charity event, which was really freaking cool. It was for Alzheimer's and whatnot, and um, they ended up raising something like $2.13 million or something like that,
That's
which was
amazing.
cool. And,
Yeah.
and they've been doing it for a couple of years or whatnot, and they've been building on that every year. Um, but it was something that her work was part of, and at the same time, it's kind of near and dear to Katie Zed's heart, for that, and being able to participate in that was kind of cool. Plus, we got semi fancified and dressed up. Went out and had a little
It's kind
night
of nice.
out.
It's kind of nice when you get to do that once in a while, right? Get all
Yeah,
fancy and shit.
yeah, nothing crazy. Just a little bit. Um,
Oh,
what are you doing?
I'm just readjusting the camera here.
Oh, okay.
Looking a
Uh,
little out of whack here.
yeah, it's all right. That's par for the course. But anyway, no, the week wasn't too bad. Um, it was cold, but then it got warmer. We had 60 degrees yesterday, just shy of 50 today. And you're right. Shorts and t-shirt, uh, come to mind dealing with what you've got. I'm done with it. I am done with it. Yo, mama, thanks for coming in.
Hey, on a side note, it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. Just to kind of kick back on when we first moved here.
Yeah.
We came across where we had seen a pure white deer.
No.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hung around. We could see it every couple days or whatever, and we would see it in person, come across. Because the way our house sits, we got a big empty,
Yeah.
all that land that's over there. So, cool thing is, well, sad thing is, that deer got hit by a car and was killed tragically.
It got whacked by a car?
Yeah, the first year we were here. So, albeit that was like the down and terrible thing.
Yeah.
2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago. It might have been yesterday, but the wife and I were outside letting the pups out and stuff, and there was a big herd of deer out
Yeah.
there, and we could actually see it because the trees have no leaves and
Right.
whatever. But don't ask me how I did it, but I counted I think it was like 11 deer, and I stopped and was talking to the wife, and I had turned back, and I had looked back in that same spot, and there were some stragglers, and I was like, "Oh, there's more. There's another pure white deer, and it's a mama
No kidding.
with a little baby behind it."
So
we have another one that's roaming around the area.
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't kill the white deer, people. It's bad luck.
And don't kill the solid black ones either.
Mm-mm.
Those are cool.
The albinos are super, super rare.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's
so are the solid black ones.
That's my fun one. So,
again, you're drinking that maple. I got my Wisers.
drinking the dripped out maple from New
Yeah.
York.
Now,
Great stuff.
that dripped out maple, again, it's not too far away from Pack and Heat Bar and Grill, okay, which is in Walton, New York. That dripped out maple is literally like 10, 15 minutes up the road, and great stuff. But Pack and Heat Bar and Grill, that's where Buddy JD, that's where we went November before last.
Yeah,
That you were up there?
for the Marine.
Yeah, we had a little Marine Corps ball get together, whatnot. If you guys ever end up near Walton, go take a stop by and say hi. He's got some really good food and got some good
Atmosphere is super good too.
oh yeah, got some good drinks. I think he's got somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 different whiskeys on tap or on the shelf right now.
Available, yeah.
And he's also got a bunch of tequilas and all sorts of other stuff. But anyway, if you do get a chance to head up that way, go ahead and do so.
And never mind that there's a tattoo shop right across the street.
Right across the street, and she does phenomenal work.
Absolutely, straight up, the best tattoo artist I have ever been to. And her name was Jamie,
Her name is Jamie.
and it's
Inked,
ink dicted tattoo.
correct. And
Phenomenal, but she's going to be
Absolutely.
appointment only. So
oh yeah, and don't think that I haven't looked at in the future on available appointments.
I
So-
can't wait for my next one. I'm going to plan something. So I'm going back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Real quick, this day in history. You ready for this?
Absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah, he might have 40 to 50
No,
in his liquor cabinet, but he
I
doesn't
don't-
have 40 to 50 different liquors.
Correct. I don't have 40 to 50 different whiskeys. I think I've got 10, 11.
I probably
Maybe.
have you beat.
Yeah, you got a couple of other ones over that way.
There's 3,
Let's see.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, I got about 20. I got about 20 or more.
Different.
Different.
Yeah, you probably got me on that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, this day in history. Do you want to start with music or do you want to start with like historical stuff?
Let's go with historical stuff.
Historical
And
stuff.
then we'll do
All right.
music.
All right. So today's February 7th. All right. Let's see here. The bonfire of the Vanities occurs in Florence. Okay. Some Catholic friar. Okay. And I'm going to butcher this name. Okay. Girolamo.
Girolamo?
Salvadorola, or whatever. Anyway, he was on the fringe side of the Catholics. What they did was they collected and publicly burned thousands of objects that they thought and saw as sinful. This included cosmetics, mirrors, musical instruments, fine clothing, art objects, and books. He later kind of fell out of being popular with people. He was then arrested, tried, and executed. So just to be on the safe side, let's take something from this guy here. Don't go too far fringy. You're liable to piss a lot of people off.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that was back in 1497. Okay. Yeah. And then 1882, bare knuckle boxing comes to an end. So you could do bare knuckle boxing up until 1882 as far as a sport. Not, hey, let's go out back and just go for it. No, this was an actual sport. Okay. come to an end. The last official sanctioned world heavyweight bare knuckle boxing championship was fought in Mississippi.
Oh, no
Uh,
shit.
yeah, between John Sullivan and Patty Ryan. Sullivan was known as the Boston Strong Boy. He ended up winning that fight. He later became the first heavyweight champion of gloved boxing and held that title for 10 years. So not only was he good with his bare knuckles, but he threw some stuff together and, you know,
Now I know I've seen on the tube, like YouTube. I think I've seen a couple, but I see a lot of it on the TikTok.
yeah.
There are still some people out there doing bare knuckle shit.
Oh, yeah. But we're talking sanctioned that.
Yeah, as a sport, right?
Correct. Yeah. It just became too dangerous. Where you,
I mean, I guess I can. I mean, realistically, yes, it is kind of dangerous just because it is bare knuckle and whatever. But
well, you also have to remember that you have to have very specific weighted gloves, okay, with the padding and everything. And if you don't have that correct padding, you can get in a lot of trouble for that too.
right, but back in the day when men were men, I guess.
Yeah, but they did different stuff. You know what I mean?
Let's face it. If you could get away from a bare knuckle fight,
I'm getting away from it.
you're pretty. No, I'm just saying, if you
Oh,
were in it and you were competing with it and you got away out of it and you were breathing and alive and you could do shit the next day, you might be all messed up, but
oh yeah.
you're a man's man at that point. That was the man shit back then.
Oh, absolutely.
But
But you also have to remember they were fighting horses and cows and all sorts of other stuff that we're not accustomed to. We're a little bit weaker than that generation as far as that goes.
Don't get me started on all that shit.
All right.
You goddamn weak ass pansies these days.
Well, yeah, but we're just getting weaker. We gotta go and
Society is gonna do that. It's a cycle.
Yeah,
it really is.
What we need is to get the sun to burp, and we'll start over, and we'll be happy.
It doesn't even have to be the sun, man. It's just.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think if the sun burps, we have equal footing. All right, 1942. Automakers are ordered to join the war effort. The United States government issued an order to all automobile manufacturers directing them to stop producing passenger cars and switch to manufacturing military hardware, including tanks, jeeps, and munitions. Factories all over the country changed production very quickly, turning the nation's industry into a wartime footing. The government made it easier to comply with the order by guaranteeing auto manufacturers profits regardless of the cost of production throughout the war, and help fund the investment with nationwide sales of war bonds. So that leads me to my question. 1942, they were ordered to stop making passenger vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Amongst other things, but yes.
Yeah. So...
because it wasn't just the passenger vehicles that were affected.
Oh, no.
Currency was another one.
Right. But my question is, with taking a look at that, what are we looking at as far as that jump from cars? You could buy a car in 1941. Let's just say it's a Ford. Can you buy a Ford from 42, 43, 44? When did it go back to being passenger vehicles?
Probably not till after the wartime efforts, right?
Right, but as a collector, wouldn't it be nice to have a vehicle from 1943?
Well, they stopped the efforts in 42, though.
Correct, but that was passenger vehicles. Imagine having a pickup truck that was used specifically for the war effort, a pickup style vehicle that was 1943 or 1944.
Right.
So That's what I'm wondering is what kind of vehicles could you get from that time frame that you couldn't get a passenger vehicle?
Well, I mean, I would imagine anything that was pickup truck related, cargo truck related.
Yeah. And Grimm's right. You get that 1943 steel penny. You couldn't get regular pennies back then.
No, because they were using the copper.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So makes you think, because we've done that type of stuff before in the past where, oh, you can't do this, can't do that. And now 2026 is the last year of the penny, I believe.
No, 26, 25 was. They actually, now, from what I understand, there is not a single penny being made. Whatever has been made has been made, and that's the end of it.
So I
We are
thought,
done. There is no more production of it. That's what I understood.
well, there you go. So now my goal is to find the first penny, see if I can find one of them, and I can get me a 2025 penny. I probably have one on me.
Roger, yes, the Jeep,
Yeah.
actually, the Jeep
Oh,
itself,
yeah.
that you
Jeeps.
meet.
Yep. So, let's see here. This one is interesting. This one happened in 1984. I know that a couple of you weren't around in 84. We were. Okay. So calm down. We're getting to your age here in a second. 1984 was the first untethered spacewalk. So he gets out of the Challenger. Okay. Gentleman's name was Bruce McCandless. Okay. Um, astronaut, obviously. And then he gets out of the Challenger, has this rocket type backpack strapped to him, which helps guide him over to the satellite that they're working on, and then guides back. No tether, nothing. If he would have done something wrong, he just
See
off he
ya.
goes. And yeah, uh, first one to do an untethered spacewalk in 1984. And in 1986, whoops.
What the hell?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of places not taking pennies. Yep. Not doing it. You can't make change. Yep. Yeah, Katie said allegedly. At least he made it to space in the Challenger. Waffle, you're absolutely right. uh, he got out there 2 years before.
I'm still stuck in this freaking they won't take pennies bullshit because it's so early in the process of them stopping the pennies that there are still so many out there that there should be absolutely no issues moving the pennies around.
It's not the moving of the pennies; it is the labor to count the pennies and the labor to take the pennies to the bank and all of that. It's a hassle. It's not worth it. Plus,
No, what it is they're forcing you to go be a cashless society. That's what it is.
eventually, yes. But right now, what they're doing is if we don't accept pennies, we don't have to give out pennies.
I agree, Jazzy. I can't believe the penny is the issue here. That we actually have to sit here and decide to deal with. It's bullshit.
Well,
It's
I
a
mean,
I stop it, tinfoil.
but no, the it's the fact that if they don't accept it, they don't have to give it out. If you
Which
accept it,
is, in my opinion, is it not illegal? It is considered legal tender.
yes,
It is legal
but
tender. It has to be accepted. Does it
no, it
not?
doesn't. It does not
Is
because
that because it's being discontinued?
correct. It is.
Oh,
Yeah, it is no longer being made. You can accept it if you want, but if you do accept it, you have to be able to give it out. And stores are like, I don't want to deal with that. If I stop accepting it, I can also turn around and say, I sorry, I don't have any pennies to give you. We don't accept them. We don't give them out. Everything rounds up to the nearest nickel.
I don't like that because I think it's too early in the process, and the fact that if you owe me money, I'm going to give you from here on out. I'm going to start using cash. If you can't give me my change back, I'm not going to start. I'm not going to shop at your place.
Well, you can do that.
I think it's bullshit.
We don't.
We don't need to be at a cashless society because that just means, in my opinion, that they're going to control us.
You're right, but you're looking too far ahead. My business is cashless. The reason it's cashless
Well,
is twofold. Number one, it saves on labor, okay, and safety of the people.
I
Okay.
understand.
Number two, because it is cashless and it's all card, because it is a membership based style business,
My
requires
point being is that's your business's business, and that's how they've structured it and how they've decided to go with that.
right. But
Grocery stores,
it didn't used to be
mini
that way though.
marts, I understand, but all those places that you would take cash into, listen, that's their business model. They don't want to do that. That's up to them. But
Yep.
your grocery stores still take cash. Your mini marts still take cash. Most other places take cash, and if they're taking cash as a legal tender, period, doesn't matter unless they strictly say that it is 100% cashless environment. Like Cabela's went straight cashless; it was card only.
Yeah.
I get that a lot of people are using the cards because it's just boom, it's done, it's over, you're done. You don't have to worry about change. You don't have to worry about none of that. But there are still a ton of people out there that carry cash,
And
although it's getting lower and lower all the time.
yeah, but they don't carry change like that either. They carry cash. The
No, they
change,
don't. But expectedly, if you carry cash, you should get your change back and it should be exact.
well, what you are proposing is instead of people wading into this nice and gentle like, you're proposing, all right, cool. We'll give you change, but everything in the store is going to go up so that we can round up to that nearest nickel, period. And then you'll never see another penny aspect of it again.
That's exactly what's going to wind up happening anyways.
It is, but
you're not going to see the $29.99 or the $10.99
right.
or the $1.99.
I'm just saying it's going up in
It's either going to be
little
an
bit,
even
little bit.
number or it's going to be up to the nearest nickel anyways, or whatever, the next even number, so that the penny is outside of that.
Absolutely. And that's what they're going to. It's eventually going to get there. They're just trying to do it nice and slow. And you're
I
going to
get
have
it.
some businesses that are doing, hey, we're not doing pennies. Other businesses still are, which is fine. But
Well, and I'm not saying like I'm against it to an extent, but I am just saying that if you're a business that's going to be taking cash until those changes are made, slow or not, you should be able to provide the exact change back to your customer, as well as the customer should be able to provide the exact change to them if they can. And most people can. Most people just carry loose change.
Jazzy's right. Pound sign, justice for the penny.
I mean, that's probably the most hated piece of currency we own.
It is. And Carol pointed out a minute ago, it's 14 cents to make.
Well, it's 4 cents. It's 4 cents to make 1 penny.
4 cents to make a penny. It costs more to make the penny by a long shot, like than anything, and that's not even to distribute it. That's just to make it.
Sure.
So,
and I can understand why, because copper prices have gone up, but also pennies aren't really made of copper anymore. So
Right, which is why they're
it's the other materials that are
the zinc and the nickel
that have
that's in it.
made the prices go up. Yes.
Yep.
So I understand it to an extent for sure. I'm not. I see
In,
both sides of it. Is what I'm saying.
in the half dime, just a nickel.
I'm only defending it to the extent of if you're cash basis, if you have if you're able to take cash, you should be able to give change, and it should be exact change. And just like Carol's situation, if it's $10.02, they should just take your $10 if they're not going to take your pennies.
Yeah. Or they're going to say, I'm sorry, but we want our 2 pennies, so give us a nickel. And now they get 3 pennies extra.
That'll never happen.
Just say
So, it won't happen on my end. On somebody else's end, they're not going to think anything about 3 pennies. But in the long run, those 3 pennies, just like you're saying,
Yeah.
across the board for people that are just going to be like, yeah, whatever, take it. It's going to make them more money.
Correct. And that's where they're going to just like, all right, well, we can't just take their 3 pennies. We're just going to round up so that the price says this. And we'll take their 3 pennies that way.
They're still taking the damn money regardless.
Right. But you're not going to see it that way. You're, oh, that's the price of it. Great. And they're going to go, okay, well, this is what it was, but we need to round up because we don't have pennies anymore. So you're absolutely right. Mr. 3 does sound like a grumpy old man, but that's okay because I have to agree with his thought process on this. I'm just trying to be a little bit of a devil's advocate on this one.
Yeah,
So.
we should move on from it. It's kind of a
And
Roger's right.
here's
So what was the next one?
the next one. All right. The year is 2013.
Mhm.
This state became the last state to officially certify the 13th Amendment, which outlawed slavery.
Okay, that's new one on me. I thought that shit was gone a long time ago.
Mississippi had formally ratified the amendment in 1995, but officially certified the 13th Amendment in 2013.
Good old Mississippi just coming in clutch today.
We're going to hold out as long as we can. 100 years later, I think we held out long enough. So that's what I got as far as this day in history news-wise. But as far as music, you ready for these?
I mean, I've got.
Uh-oh, he froze. Oh, he froze bad too. I hope it's not me that froze. Oh no. Are you back?
I'm here.
There you go.
I never left.
I think you did.
No.
All right.
Anyway,
Music. Yeah, everyone says Mr. 3 froze. Wasn't me this time. Sucker. Eat a bug. All right. Oh no. He left again. All right. Mr. 3 is falling in and out. So while he resets and then comes back in, I will go on with music. Music facts. February 7th, 1963, the Beatles single Please Please Me was released in the US. This release is what started the US version of Beatlemania in the US. And this right here, this little bit of information here, Dick Bonatti of Chicago's WLS is the one that decided to play the Beatles for the first time in the United States. So we can blame Chicago for Beatlemania. You can blame Mrs. Z. Led Zeppelin, February 7th, 1970, earned their first UK #1 album with Led Zeppelin 2. I thought that was interesting because I didn't realize it took them that long to get a #1 over in the UK. And then for those that are my parents' generation and a little older, February 7th, 1959, Buddy Holly was laid to rest after his February 3rd plane crash. His hometown of Lubbock, Texas, is where he is buried. And if you happen to go there and look up his grave, you will find that he had his tombstone misspelled. He had Holly with an EY on the tombstone, and it's not the way it was spelled. So you look for Buddy Holly, you're going to look for Buddy Holly with a HOLLEY. So there is that. And Mr. 3 has disappeared for a while. This is supposed to be his next little segmenty here. I agree. Buddy Holly slaps. He was only 22 when he passed away. I actually thought he was a little bit older than that. But I think I'm conflating different groups that were in their 27 range, I believe it is. So, yeah. Where did he go? All right, Mr. 3. Sorry, man. Show's got to go on. All right. One of the things that I've got that I really wanted to talk about, actually, I'm going to wait for him to show up on this one. Ace sent us a cool video. And it is a truck doing donuts on a frozen New Jersey lake. I bet you can't see what happens to this one here. Hey, you're back. Look at you go.
I try to reset. Let's see what happens.
Oh, well, let's do that here. All right. We're going to watch a little video of a truck in New Jersey doing donuts on a frozen lake. Any bets on what's going to happen on this one?
I'm guessing he might be in the lake.
Well, let's find out.
It's an icy scene in Eagleswood Township that's become a local spectacle. The top of a pickup truck visible in a partially frozen lake. After a spinning stunt caught on camera that's drawing sharp criticism of the person behind the wheel.
Wasn't thinking. It's very simple. Dangerous. Could have been killed.
This video, shot over the weekend and shared on social media, shows the pickup doing donuts on the ice before ultimately breaking through.
It's about more than you. When you commit an act like this, when you do something like this, there's a lot of other lives on the line.
As far as known, and apparently the whole place is a sheet of ice.
First responders were dispatched Sunday morning to the Stafford Forge Wildlife Management Area after someone spotted the truck in the ice. They didn't know if anyone was inside.
They're responding to a call where there may be a victim. And until they're told otherwise, they have to treat it that way.
Members of 3 volunteer fire companies, including a pair of water rescue teams, a dive team, and EMS crews, converged on the scene, putting their own safety at risk. They ultimately determined the pickup was empty.
Stupidity at its finest. It's not something you should be doing.
Authorities say the 44-year-old driver got out unhurt but never reported the accident. State police ultimately issued him summonses for multiple motor vehicle offenses, including reckless driving and leaving the scene of an accident.
It's a perfect example of why driving and stepping on ice can be very dangerous.
So far, it's unclear if there's a plan to get the pickup out of the lake. Turns out the driver shouldn't have been on the road either. State police say he doesn't currently have a valid license. In Eagleswood Township, I'm Ted Greenberg, NBC 10 News.
So,
I mean, technically, he's not on the road. They didn't catch him. Technically.
Yeah, but when you here's the problem with the whole technically on that one. The firemen and the police went out there because they didn't know if someone was in that truck and put their own life at risk.
Mhm.
At that point, the whole technically he wasn't on the road thing goes out the window.
They still have to prove he was the one that was doing it. It could have been some other jackass in it that he had as a friend doing it.
He maybe, but he probably admitted it.
I'm sure he probably did. He's probably a good standing citizen. He was like, yeah, that was me out there just being dumb. And
Probably.
he's willing to take the consequences because he was
Yeah.
out there doing some dumb shit, as one should.
I agree, as one should. But holy cow. I've never wanted to drive on ice with a pickup truck or a car. Now, I will say that I have wanted to do it like with a little go-kart, which is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because if I'm willing to be out there at,
It's just boys being boys. Come on.
yeah. But
Was
not,
it wrong? Hell yeah, it was wrong. Who cares?
Well-
Guy went out there and had some goddamn fun.
well, now he's got to go
But I also understand
fish all that
too,
out.
I also understand the firemen have to put their lives at risk, and so does now the recovery crews and blah blah blah. Yes,
Yep.
I get it.
So,
He-
man, I bet he had fun for a couple of minutes, though.
It looked like it.
Yeah, I bet he had fun for a couple of minutes.
Until his ass puckered up and sucked the seat up.
His flotation device.
He basically took his own flotation device away.
It's like, here I go. All right, so
But dumb. I mean, a lot of things we've done are dumb. Come on now.
not wrong.
I mean, there's not going to be any explanation to the insurance company. They're
No.
not going to pay for it.
Yeah. All right. We were going to go into. You had a couple of topics, correct?
I have interesting things for just kind of help people out with their like start stop stuff
Okay.
for their vehicle, like the engine start stop.
So this is like the auto start and whatnot that you get when you pull up to a stoplight and all of a sudden your engine just shuts off on you.
Mhm.
Yeah. You got to hit that start button again, or you just hit the gas. Why did they come up with it?
It is for better emissions. What it breaks down to is it's better for the fuel economy, quote unquote. So they say, which I don't believe in, but it's also supposed to be better for emissions because the vehicle is not sitting there running while it stops. So,
Okay.
when you come up to like a red light or something, it shuts down. It's vastly improved, in my opinion, from probably the earlier ESS systems, which is the engine start stop.
Mhm.
They just shortened it up to ESS, but
You sure are making a lot of noise over there.
it's interesting because the earlier stuff was all done off of one battery, and some of the newer stuff is still done on a single battery, but they've implemented other
like separate nodes.
I forgot what it's called. It's a IRC or something like that. It's and I forget the terminology on it, but basically what was happening with the earlier stuff was that people were complaining that when you would stop and the engine would shut down, when you go to fire it back up, all of their electrical stuff, like if you were running AC or if you were running lights, it would just dim down. You know how like when you crank a vehicle, it kind of dims the power down and comes back on. Customers were not keen on that. So a lot of the manufacturers went to figuring out how to solve that issue. So there's other little gadgets in there that for the single ones. I wish I could remember the terminology that it was. But basically, it's almost storing some of that energy, so that way, when you crank it, you don't
Oh, it doesn't do the
you
dim.
you don't notice any of it at all, which you don't in the newer style stuff, anyways. But they did switch over to having two different batteries. You have your main 12 volt, which is like anywhere between, depending on the vehicle, what it is, anywhere between like 530 cold cranking up to like 850 cold cranking amp
Okay.
on some of these batteries. But then
Can you quickly explain what a cold cranking amp is
um,
and why it's important?
it's the stored energy in the battery. It's what it's capable of putting out energy wise. And I'm sure I'm not going to get it 100% on that. Um, I'm still learning the battery side of things.
Okay.
Um, I'm good with. I'm still learning. Even at my age, I'm still learning electrical stuff. There's just so much electrical stuff to just
Right.
play with. But um, and it's
So having
it,
that second
it,
battery keeps it from having to worry about.
so they take
affecting
the
that.
other IRC or RCA, RCI or whatever. It takes that side of it out and it puts the little smaller 12 volt battery, which is only 200 cranking out.
Okay.
Okay. So when you have a dual battery setup like that, it's actually not for the start stop, the ESS system, the electric start or the engine start stop. It's actually that is what's keeping your lights and keeping your.
Okay.
So, and then during like a cranking setup, there's some other relays and whatnot in there. You can't have an 800 cold cranking amp battery plus another 200 because that would give you 1,000 cold cranking amp. That's too much power in most vehicles anymore. You can't have both of those batteries, even though they're in parallel. There's a relay that actually separates the one smaller battery, so it's just the 12 volt battery
Gotcha.
to start it back up. But you have a PCM, you have an IBS, which is your
Irritable bowel syndrome.
um, a lot of people would call it that, yes, but it's your intelligent battery sensor,
I'm going to get chicken.
which
You said you wanted me to make you chicken, so I'm gonna go put Bojangles.
Katie Zed is going to be stepping out for a few minutes. She is going to go to the Bojangles and get me some chicken. So that's what that was about. I apologize.
correct, potential energy. You're right. That's the cold cranking out.
All right. So Waffle did have a question here, kind of backing up a little bit. How does the starter not burn up with it
So-
shutting down and coming back up?
So what they've done is they've actually revamped the starter.
Okay.
So they've taken the starter and make it beefier. So the gear that comes out makes contact with the flywheel is beefier. So it's got more engagement. So it's thicker. The starter itself is actually built stronger and beefier.
Okay.
So all of its components. The battery cables are actually built to hold more amperage, so they're thicker. And then the batteries went from basically like your old flooded style batteries to AGM batteries. And your AGM batteries can handle the cranking tenfold of the flooded batteries. So it can
Okay.
handle the more cranking cycles.
Okay. Shelly's got a question here.
Mm-hmm.
Heard my entire life it takes more gas to start a vehicle than it does to let it run for 15 minutes. Is that a wives' tale? Oh, Mythbusters says it is a wives' tale, but I don't believe everything that I saw on Mythbusters either.
The only way you're ever going to know anything is if you conduct your own tests. That's all I can say.
Right.
What I can tell you is there is absolutely 100% zero way to, if your vehicle has a start-stop system, you have absolutely zero ways at this point in time. I was going to get to that in just a minute, Roger. There is absolutely no way to disable the start-stop system, period. You can start the vehicle, and then you have to press the button. That is the only way that you can disable the start-stop system. But
Okay.
as soon as you turn the key off, they go to turn the key back on to start it up again.
Restarts it.
You have to you have to push the button again. There's currently no way that you can, that I'm aware of. I'm sure somebody out there is figuring it out, but there's currently no way to disable that system, period. And the reason being is because the start-stop system actually is operated through a ton of different modules. To name a few is the PCM, which is the powertrain control module, the engine controller, your ABS module, which is your braking system, the IBS, the intelligent battery sensor, and your brake pedal, which has also been changed from your standard switch. It's now a travel sensor, so it knows where it's at, which also is something that acts as also like your hill start assist.
Yep.
Which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with, where if you're sitting on a hill and you take your foot off the brake, the vehicle doesn't go anywhere. Well, there's going to be a start-stop event if you're stopped on a hill somewhere and it's got an incline. It has to be able to stay put. So there's a sensor on the brake booster. And then there's also, on some vehicles, there's a reserve canister for that vacuum pressure. Because what happens is if it starts to lose vacuum, the engine will start up immediately. Because there's a sensor that figures out how much vacuum is there. And if it doesn't have the vacuum that it needs, the engine will automatically fire back up and boost that pressure back up so you retain braking power.
So all of this is done by computer.
Mm-hmm.
And with all of these new cars that are fandangled computers, and they have ways of connecting to the interwebs.
There is a lot of over-the-wave stuff, but that's because a lot of your cars have 4G and 5G built-in connections for cell phone and stuff. So your car can actually be sitting in your driveway, and unbeknownst to you, you can get what they call an over-the-wave update. And basically what happens is it shoots it to your car through the 4G or 5G wireless network, and it wakes up your modules and goes, we're doing an update. And it does an update while it's sitting there. And the next morning you go out there and you're none the wiser. Or if you're not in, like me, in some cases where you live in the boonies and you're parked in a garage, it may not reach your vehicle. And then you get out and you start driving somewhere and you shut the vehicle off. If it's cell phone service there, it'll do it there. And then as you get back in while it's doing it in the middle of it, it will actually tell you on your radio that you're getting an update. And then it will instruct you on how to proceed as far as that's concerned. Yes.
It just puts more validity in the fact that some of these 3-letter agencies can go in there and mess with your vehicle, and all of a sudden you and a tree become best friends at high speeds.
It's absolutely possible, because that is why some of these manufacturers back in 2018 implemented, like for me, for instance, because I have a scanner. In order for me to use my scanner, anything from 2018 and beyond, I had to either update my scanner. Well, I didn't have to. not only did I have to update my scanner, but I also had to subscribe to whatever manufacturer I was at and pay a subscription fee for a year, so that I could get into the vehicle computer system to diagnose what was wrong with the vehicle.
Yep.
So
I think Waffle's got it right here. If you have the chance and the ability, get you something that doesn't have that computer in it. That way,
Yeah.
one of them 3-letter agencies that you end up pissing off doesn't throw you into a tree at Mock Jesus.
So they've actually gone away back to what Roger was saying. Ram, Chrysler, it's basically a Stellantis product. The Ram is using the eTorque system, which is a generator. That's not. They don't even have alternators anymore.
Oh, that would have messed with me because I've been like, man, alternator's messing up.
They still have a standard starter for when you first fire the vehicle up and start the vehicle, but that eTorque system is your start stop. Your starter doesn't engage from there. The eTorque is what engages and starts the vehicle at that point, which is what's taking place of the alternator. Okay, which is now a generator. So the eTorque spins the motor over, fires the vehicle back up. Okay. Not only does it do that, it charges a 48-volt battery.
Wait, so not only do you have a 12-volt battery,
there's now a 48-volt
there's
battery.
an extra 12-volt battery that's a little smaller. And
no,
now there's a
no. The eTorque only has one battery.
Oh, okay.
That's the 12-volt battery. Okay.
So then what's the 48-volt?
The 48-volt battery is what's taking place of the secondary battery. So there's not a small battery anymore like on the older stuff. Okay.
Right.
There's a
so why would you need to go from a 12 to a 48-volt?
For your start stop. I don't understand why it went to that side of it, aside from it stores the energy and it also can feed the 12-volt battery to recharge it.
Yeah.
It starts the vehicle up and it also helps propel the vehicle forward.
Oh, good grief. Waffle, I thought I like my tinfoil hat. This one right here has given me another reason to have a secondary tinfoil hat, because this would have been amazing.
So with your start stop though too, just so everybody, I'm going to give you a small list because I did this on purpose. There's a small list, and this is only some of it. Okay, it's not all of it. I have to get. Oh shit! I don't have my glasses, so it will. It is.
Want to borrow mine?
Yep, I'll just make it bigger. So, in order for your start stop to work properly, now this is just a small list. Okay. There is a low battery state of charge. So if the battery is too low, the start stop will not work. If the ambient air temperature is less than 17 degrees Celsius or 1 degree Fahrenheit, or if it's greater than 40 degrees, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, the start stop will not work.
So right now where you're at, and in 6 months in Phoenix, not ideal.
It has to be able to adjust and bring its temp up, because once the battery is started, once you start the vehicle and get it running, the battery and the components under the hood all start to warm up.
Right, but
so it's going to get above that. In Arizona, it's not going to. It's going to get hotter, so it may not work. I don't know. So I know on some of the systems there is a liquid cooled version. Okay, so your eTorque would be liquid cooled. Okay, so you would have your coolant running through it, and that would help it cool down. That, and it would also help cool down the 48-volt battery in the back.
Right.
Jeeps are underneath the vehicle. The 1500s are behind the back seat. But at some point, it's going to balance out and the system's going to work. HVA settings, so your HVAC settings.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you're in a vehicle and you have yours, say it's, let's just say it's 96 degrees out.
Okay.
Okay. But you want your vehicle to be somewhere in the 70s for cool. You want to be nice and cool in there.
Yeah.
Your start stop's not going to work until the cabin pressure until your cabin interior gets to that point. And same thing vice versa.
Well, if you want to heat it up.
If you want to heat it up, it will be the same way. If you're in 50-degree weather and your vehicle's 50 degrees inside and you want it to be 70, 75, your start stop's not going to work unless it reaches that selected.
So
that's why you will see the message on the dash saying cabin heating in progress or cabin cooling in process on a start stop.
So if you want it to work, if you, for some weird ass reason, want your start stop to work, you need to go, okay, well, I know it's 95 right now, and I want it to be 70, but I'm going to drop it to 90, and then in a little bit, when it gets to 90, I'm going to drop it to 85 and inch it way down so that it continues to work.
That just depends on the type of drive and how long of a drive you have. Do you want to go through that bullshit?
Right.
So there's that. The transmission has to be at operating temperature, a certain operating temperature. It has to be above and or just below operating temperatures. The other thing is it won't work if the transmission's in park.
The start stop won't.
No.
So if it's in park, to Waffle's point here, letting your vehicle warm up, it will just continue to run and allow your vehicle to warm up if you want. Okay.
Yeah, the vehicle, if it's in park, there's no reason for the start-stop function to work. So if it's just sitting, it's only working if it's in a specified gear. So you're going to be in drive. That's where it's going to start. Not in reverse.
What about like drive low?
As long as it's a forward gear, it'll read it.
Oh shit.
Yep.
I was trying to figure out a way to bypass it.
If your power control module, your PCM, is in a ethanol blend mode, learn mode, which it's not going to be for a lot of people. I mean, it could be. It could do it every once in a while. Here's another one. If your seatbelt's not attached, it won't do it. So if you're cruising down the road and your seatbelt's not attached, it won't have start-stop. And I don't condone this because that means you're driving without a seatbelt. If your door's open, most vehicles won't allow you to drive anymore with your door open, period. It automatically kicks it into park.
What if I want to take my door off?
At that point, you're just not going to have start-stop.
I'm okay with that.
And then add 5 more. Now, mind you, this is just a small list, okay? There's a bunch of other parameters and places.
Okay, so you've been talking for 15 minutes on this small list. I don't want to know how long you could talk for the big list.
I don't have the big list. Not yet. I'm just telling you this is some of the stuff that it's doing, okay? It has to be a valid target gear and brake switch condition. So the brake switch condition has to be good. There's a completed initial engine key start.
I don't have a key.
Doesn't matter if you have a push button or not.
Oh, that counts as a key? Okay. All
right. If you have a passenger and their seatbelt's not buckled, it won't use the start-stop.
Well, I'm liking that.
And then on top of that there's a secondary hood switch.
Why?
for the start-stop system. It's a safety thing.
Okay.
So
Huh.
that's just some of the bullshit that I get to deal with, and that's just. And that's the thing is, a lot of these people don't understand that there are so many different conditions that have to be met in order for the start-stop to work. So they come in, they say, "Oh, my start-stop doesn't work," and I have to go in and I have to go, "Okay, well, I have to look at the vehicle and I have to go, is there an actual problem with the system?" And when there is, it's generally yeah, I figured that there was probably some bypass harnesses, and I figured that there were probably some known issues by using that. And one of the benefits of just if you did that, why wouldn't you just? I know it's a pain in the ass, but just hit the button.
Automatically get in and hit the button.
It at that point, once you've made it a habit, it's just a habit. You go in and you push the button. It's literally a habit. You
I
fire
got
the
two
vehicle
buttons.
up, hit the button. Yep.
Gotcha.
So it's interesting stuff I'm learning. Like I had a pretty decent idea about a lot of it, but like you and I had discussed a little earlier today, I've been running some school stuff and
Yeah.
going to online classes and stuff for my job, which you have to every day as a technician.
Yeah, they get certified on everything. Yeah.
Well, it's just you have to be able to keep up with everything that's going on these days. Like I said, they're going like you had stranded wire they would use. It's low voltage wire that they would use for the CAN system, the CAN bus. It's LIN bus and all that stuff. It's the way the vehicle communicates between all the different modules. They're actually changing that to
Fiber optic.
which is
Sounds
much
about right.
faster. It's faster. It's
Yeah.
super fast.
Yeah, until you
So.
break it.
Yep, and from what I understood, there's a specialized tool now to fix that broken fiber cable.
Oh,
So
really?
that'll be something else that I'll have to buy.
Are you gonna have to rerun the entire thing, or
Nope. You're supposed to be able to go find the break in that specific side of it, and if there's some sort of a tool that holds both ends of the fiber optic cable together, and then there's some sort of a glue and UV resin. At least from what I understood, that's the way they were doing it. But the tool is the key part of it because it actually holds both pieces of the carbon, the fiber optic exactly in line because it can't be off at all.
no?
Otherwise,
Which
it
is
won't
why
work.
I've always thought you had to rerun it.
Technology, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
They figured out how to repair it at this point.
The
Which
$6 million man, we will rebuild.
yeah.
Huh?
So, hey, Pop.
So we just spent the last 45 minutes going over the ESS system, and I've got a bigger headache now than when I started.
It's a trip,
Oh, good Lord! I want to go back
and
to.
there's so much more to it. I mean, I've just kind of touched it. So
I'm with you, Waffle. Get something old that way you don't have to worry about this crap.
and that's a dying art in itself. Is the older vehicles. People aren't familiar with how to do the technician wise. They're not familiar with carburetors. So I'm not familiar with carburetors, but
The point
I could figure it out.
the points in the truck had it, and I would go in there, and Dad had a little box and showed me how to use it, and I'd get it to where it sounded good and it felt good when it ran, and I'd be like, okay, that's where it's supposed to be at, the points and condensers. And yeah,
As long as you had your points gap right, which generally speaking is right around a matchbook, which is why you've seen a lot of matchbook cases in the older vehicles, and it wasn't because they smoked, it was because of the points.
Yeah.
So they could gap the points.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to go from one technology to another. Okay. The technology that I'm going to talk about is the F-15 Eagle, the jet. Okay. And the reason I want to jump into the F-15 Eagle is there's a couple of things that I heard about. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then I started doing a little bit of research into it and went, holy smokes. So, first off, it came into production in 1972 and became a part of the military in 76. Okay. So they started building it in 72. McDonnell Douglas, which is now Boeing. McDonnell Douglas in 1972 was contracted to build the next jet to take over for the F-4 Phantom. Okay. And they were, given special instructions. We wanted to do this and that and all sorts of stuff. And the final product was purchased by the military in 1976. And we've been using it all the way up until I think the last production year that they had it was in 97. And then it was just recently, what year was that? Oh, damn. I think it was 2022 when they replaced it with the F-22. Okay. Now this jet is still being used around the world by multiple militaries, such as Israel's using it. You've got Saudi Arabia that's using it. You've got a couple of other places Japan, I know, is using it. They're still using it because it's a fantastic jet. It really is. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this, because how interesting this jet is. Okay. It's got 2 engines and it can fly with just the one. Okay. So if one engine goes out, it doesn't burn out. It can fly with the other one.
It
Okay.
can still make it back home.
Yeah. And it's akin to a rocket ship. Okay. Not like a plane. It acts more like a freaking rocket than it is a plane. It is still one of the fastest climbing vehicles in the world. Okay.
Right.
From takeoff, it can go vertical and go straight up faster than almost 90% of the other jets.
Damn.
Okay. And off it goes. It is literally like a rocket. Okay. Roger, the F-15EX Eagle, which is the Strike Eagle, I believe is what they called it. It amazing technology in it. And I can go into some of the other technologies that they were putting in it, and then they just said, you know what, we're going to take it and we're going to put it into the F-22 and then the F-23 and all that other stuff. It's just an older jet, but it's fantastic. One of the coolest things about it was, I believe it had 104 victories. And how many defeats?
Am I supposed to answer that with what I think it is?
Just give a guess.
10.
0.
0 defeats.
So 104 to 0. That's a hell of a boxing record. Okay.
No shit.
Okay. 104 to 0. Not even a TKO on it. Okay. Because when you thought it had a TKO, it really wasn't. Okay. So let me give you an example of it. Israel had I want to pull this up because I don't want to mess this up. In 1983, Israel had an F-15 and an A-4 Skyhawk. So it's 2 different planes collided midair. All right. Nobody died. The A-4 Skyhawk, okay, they ejected, landed safely, lost the plane completely. The F-15 was able to land. Okay. The F-15, the pilot and the co-pilot could not see how bad the damage was because of all of the fuel and oil and everything that was getting sprayed. All right.
Mhm.
They had no idea how bad the damage was, but the pilot was able to level the plane out using the thrusters and both engines and everything and come in and safely land without having to eject. I want to show you what this looked like. And this is actual pictures of the airplane.
I think I know which one it is. Yeah, it was missing half the fucking wing.
It was missing more than half of the
Oh
wing.
yeah.
It flew with one wing. Yes, absolutely, Waffle. The 1983 Najev mid-air collision. You take a look at these, and it won't let me zoom in any further than anything. There is no wing here. It was off the right-hand side there, the port side of the aircraft. They couldn't see it because of all of the fuel vapor and the oil vapor and everything. They
That's
didn't
just
realize it.
wild.
The pilot later come out and said that if he would have known that the wing was missing, he would have ejected. But because he couldn't see it and he was able to control the plane, he came in and landed.
That's just wild.
Okay.
I remember that, and I figured that was what you were going to show, was that one that was missing. That.
So that's what started my little look into the F-15. Okay, because I've heard a lot of different things, but hey, it's it can do this, it can do that, it can do this, it can do that. Okay, and then I remembered something else that clipped in the back of my head, like, hey, didn't something else happen really cool with an F-15? I started looking at it, I'm like, holy shit, yeah, it actually, yeah, this is it. The F-15 is the only airplane that has a confirmed kill on a satellite.
What?
So they flew an F-15, they got it up in the air, and then they angled it, and they took off, and then they fired a missile that went up and tagged a satellite and took it out of orbit.
That's wild.
So, there's kind of a video of it. Let me see if I can get this to play because it's kind of neat because they got a animated video of it. Let's see here. I think it's this one. Yeah, that's it. So it's going and it shoots it, and then it takes off into the low atmosphere, and then boop, takes out the satellite. And we actually used this as a, hey, Russia, hey, China, do you really want to fuck with us right now? Because they saw us do it.
And I guess it's not really. I mean, for the main ones, yeah, Russia, China, but I guess it was just pretty much blanketed for everybody.
Right. Because they were, beating their chest going, we've got, this, we've got this. And we went, okay, but we can do this. Can you do this?
It takes a pretty skilled freaking pilot.
We use an airplane to take out one of their satellites. Or we actually took out one of our own satellites, okay? But to show them, hey, we can take out one of yours if we really want to with an airplane.
Listen, I don't know. As the pilot of that airplane, I don't know that I would want to refly that plane after it was fixed.
Oh, the other one? Oh yeah, but they did fix it, and it was flown.
I don't know that I would be super happy about that.
I flew it
I mean,
without
I suppose, yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, it would just
I mean, it'd be like
whatever.
you
But
going down the road and you lose a tire. Okay, for whatever reason, a tire. Okay, and you're driving, you're like, oh, I've got this, and you park and you go, oh, dink.
that's a
Like,
pretty major component.
so is a tire.
It is, but you could drive on a tire. Okay, you could drive without it. I would be more concerned with.
He could fly without the wing. He proved it.
Yeah, no,
Give me the
understood.
wing. That's like a extra little
It's-
tether. I'm good.
I guess
So.
it's kind of like wrecking a freaking car with a bad frame in it and putting it back together with a.
Yeah.
You don't know if it was done properly or not. What else did you miss on the structural side of it? Potentially miss.
I can tell you that the way that they test planes, okay, especially military planes,
It's probably pretty strict.
yeah.
I get it. It's still
When they find a loose
back
bolt
here.
on a plane, okay, they take the entire plane down and then they go through all of it.
Yeah.
That type of
And
thing.
as they should, because
Yeah.
you need that plane to be functional. Period.
Oh yeah. So, but no, I looked at that and went, holy cow, the technology aspect of it. And then with you talking about the technology we're using in cars, it's like,
Well, and that's the thing is you got to imagine most of that technology probably started there and has trickled down to the cars.
yeah.
And then whatever has potentially.
I don't want the start stop on my airplane. Oh boy, he froze up again. Man. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Let's see here. Is he gonna come back?
I can see you.
There you are. All right, so you froze up and you died out. But no,
Sorry, guys. I'm experiencing pretty shitty.
well, you've also got really crappy weather where you're at too.
Well,
Cold.
it's that's part of it, but my
Yeah.
internet provider sucks balls.
Yeah, well,
I'm
Don't
paying
they all?
I'm paying an arm and a leg and getting this.
you're getting that finger you're missing.
Not even. I'm getting that. I'm not even getting that.
Like I was saying, that technology that trickles down to the cars. I don't want the start stop in my jet.
Well, no. But what I'm saying also too is what's also in the vehicles are probably that they're sharing information is basically it's just crazy.
Okay, so with the new jets, okay, they have what's called over the horizon. Okay, they have these missiles that can go over the horizon in order to take out other planes. Okay, the plane that you're in that's holding the missile cannot see the target. The plane, excuse me, the plane that's several hundred miles away, okay, is looking at the target. Talking to your plane, you fire the missile. That plane picks that missile up and tells it where to go.
Mhm.
Okay. So you're just.
And we're only breaking the tip of the iceberg on this technological shit. Okay. There's stuff that's out there so much more far advanced that we can even comprehend.
Yeah, we're not even going to DARPA.
No.
You and I'll talk about DARPA later. They're 15 to 30 years ahead of what anyone knows that's advanced right now.
But To get back to what Pop said, yes, like my old GMC.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Let's see here. All right. So that was my F-15. Now I wanted to talk about some firepower. Okay. So
Firepower is always good.
yeah. Um, these Russians know how to have fun. Okay. You get videos of them all the time. They get to play with bears and then they play with fully auto stuff. Anyway, do you know how they take care of avalanches?
Is it not similar to what we would do?
Kinda. But I think their toy is a little bit more fun to use.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm intrigued.
let's see, is it this one? No, it's probably this one. Yeah, that one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
So they do this so it's controlled avalanche,
Right.
and we do it in the U.S. I know they do it in Alaska, they do it up in Montana and Wyoming, stuff like that. Um,
Anything
and they,
that's avalanche prone.
yeah, and they do this so as a protective measure. They're gonna make that loose snow come down um, in a very controlled way. Basically, they're gonna know when it goes because they did it on purpose, and whatever's left up there is a little more compact and whatnot. Um, but yeah, they absolutely know how to have fun with it. They're
Now,
just
what in
using
the actual, what is it that they're using? Because that looks like,
it's artillery.
I was going to
It,
say, it looks like a piece of artillery that you would have on a ship or
uh,
a tank.
this right here, it wouldn't be necessarily on a tank. I mean, you could put it on a tank, but I wouldn't. It's not on a tank. This is something that you would pull behind a vehicle
Like a
and then drop
Humvee
it
or
off.
something.
Yeah. Uh, you can do it off of a Humvee. You could do it off of a 5 ton or whatever the equivalent is over in Russia. But you
What
set it
about
up
2.5 ton?
a deuce and a half with that small one there. Yeah, they could do it off a deuce and a half. Now we have some big ones. The U.S. has got some big ones that you're not pulling with the deuce and a half. You're going with a 5 or 7 ton easy. Um, but yeah, you take that and you pull it up, you set it down, and you got your artillery guys, and they're pulling all the artillery rounds off the back of it, and that's what you're using. But yeah, they're using it to for avalanches, and I've seen the U.S. use similar stuff, but nothing like as cool as that. I'm sure that they do. I just haven't seen it. But they're shooting
We've seen a
explosive.
lot of shit. So, and we've
I've seen
been all over the net. So, I haven't seen anything. And they're the first ones I've seen that use a piece of artillery like that. So,
yeah.
do we though?
We might. I haven't looked really deep into it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a desert rat. I'm not a snow bunny. Um, so I'd have to look a little more into it to find out how that works. But yeah, that's one of them cool things that I thought you'd get a kick out of is how they go out there.
I love all kinds of good firepower. I can't tell you a whole lot about it, but I love watching shit blow up. So,
Um, let's go with some a cool extraction or cool technology.
waffle saucer. What do you say?
Do we want to
Is
go
it-
with a cool extraction or cool technology?
It's a little bit of delay, so we'll have to wait like 10,
Yeah.
15 seconds. But
Because the extraction is going to be helicopter based, and the cool technology is going to come out of Japan.
Ooh.
So,
I'm going to say extraction, then the technology. But
and having dealt with specifically both of these,
so we're going to do both, but which one should we do first? Extraction.
All right, let's do the extraction first. Carol, flip the coin. All right. So this is. Let me preface this in this way. You're on a boat, okay, and it's one of those little rubber boats, okay, but it's a high speed, special ops boats, okay. You're on one of these, and you got the bad guys hauling ass after you, and you're trying to get the hell out, okay. And the only way you're going to get out is by helicopter. So how are you going to get you and your boys that are on the boat onto the helicopter?
I mean, I would think you would just pick everything up all at once, in my opinion. I mean,
And
that would be the. That
how
would
would you do that? Because you're being chased.
That I couldn't tell you.
You're being chased. So how are you going to pick up everything all at once?
I guess it just depends on how it's designed, but I really couldn't tell you because I have never actually seen it or.
How about I change the way you're thinking and I go, you ever watch Knight Rider?
Oh, yeah.
How does he do it?
Goes right up into the back of the trailer. So are they going to dive right up into the back of the chopper? Nice. They're just going to boat wrap themselves right up into the chopper. That's crazy. I'm out.
I had to turn the music off before we get hit again.
Yeah. Good God, he was moving at a freaking clip too, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. So the cool thing about the Chinook here, okay, you get the CH-46 and CH-47. The 46 was Marine Corps, 47 was Army. You can actually see videos of this helicopter in Vietnam. Okay, so I've actually rode in Chinooks that actually were in Vietnam as well. So that tells you how long they've been in service. Now, mind you, they've had a lot of upgrades and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
Some of them didn't feel like they had anything done to them since Vietnam, riding in them. But anyway,
right.
The ass
you were
end
on
of-
one of the budget ones.
Yeah, I was on the Spirit Airlines version of the Chinook. The one next to me was Southwest, and the other one on the other side was Frontier.
Bomb, man. That's crazy cool.
You got these Chinooks that were coming in, and they were actually landing. So let's say this is a building, okay? And this side here is a cliff, okay?
So the edge of the building, right?
The ass end of it would come in, land. So this part is still flighting in the air, and everyone would offload onto the top of the building, and then it'd fly away. So they would just come tearing ass in, land just the very end of it, okay, just the ramp. People would get off or people would get on, and then helicopter would leave. So that that Chinook getting its ass into the water, so that little skiff there could hop onto the back of it, and then they could take off.
I agree. We definitely 100% need a POV from the boat into the Chinook.
I'll see what I can do about finding that,
That'd
because
be cool as
I
shit.
believe there is one.
Dude, that boat was freaking booking it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine coming in that hot into the back of a freaking Chinook like that?
Oh yeah, I can't imagine.
I'm just thinking like the room that would be there. I mean, he's moving at a pretty good clip.
Those Chinooks, a couple of Jeeps can fit in there. Okay. Full size Jeep can fit into the back of a
Jeep
Chinook.
or Humvee?
Jeep. Jeeps can fit into the back of that, and you can pull them off. Now, the Sea Knight can hold a Humvee, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so are we talking like the 1940s Jeeps? Because they're not. To me, that's not really that big.
It's
Even if
wide
it's
enough.
two.
It's wide enough to where you can have a Jeep pull in and then another Jeep pull in behind it.
Right, but the Jeeps that I'm considering from the 1940s to the Jeeps nowadays are different.
Military Jeep.
They're wheel. So you're talking about the old school wheelies.
Yeah, that's what.
That's pretty shallow considering that they're probably. You're only talking about 20, 25 feet, maybe?
A little bit longer than that, but not by much. And it's only as wide as 8 to 9 foot on the
That's
inside there.
still that little floater's. I mean, booking it. That boat probably just stop so the riders can fist bump him. Get
Yep.
out of here!
Yep, that's what they were waiting on.
Yep.
So, but yeah, all right. So that technology wise, so we've got helicopters and jets,
That's
and
cool,
we've got
man.
cars. All right, now we got Japan. Okay, again, I was in Japan in the late '90s, and I was seeing stuff in Japan that I didn't see until almost 2010 in the U.S. Okay, with some of the flat screen TVs and stuff like that. Okay, some of the RC cars and RC helicopters and RC planes that they had in Japan. Didn't see any of that until much, much later. Okay. Um, I just thought, some of the technology that we got here with Japan that they're kind of showing out a little bit. I thought you guys might enjoy this. I know you like stuff like this. So, which one is this one? This one is here. So let's see. So this right here is a specialized washing machine for your shoes.
Your tinnies.
Okay. And it automatically senses them, cleans them, and then when you pull them out, on top of it, you got a specialized dryer for your shoes.
That's just wild. I seen this the other day,
Okay.
and I was thinking the same thing. How is it that we don't have something like that here, as well as like this? Now I know we've had and or seen that before, where we've had refrigerators and stuff that open both ways.
Yeah, I don't even know how that works. My mind can't wrap around that. Okay.
Right.
Now the shoe thing here, um, that's a very specialized machine. Okay.
It absolutely is.
But if you have that, let's say at your dry cleaner, come on. Tell me that.
So I got to imagine the way that those that refrigerator is working is where, uh, see how you're pulling the handle on the bottom.
Okay.
That's got to be the latch release and also the latch secure
For the
part
other
of
side.
each side. So when the right side is closed, it's actually latched onto the pivot point. And then it would be the same way on the other side.
I think this type of thing would be really cool in
We have that, but we just don't have it in that sense. You have to actually disassemble the goddamn door and the
right.
hinges and move the hinge to the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would swear that I would think that we would. I think that the higher end
Maybe.
models have this option. Well, I don't even know what the hell that is. That's
So-
cool though.
This right here is
Mm-hmm.
so it's an anti-suction thing where it just all comes out and it looks all good.
Yeah, it breaks the seal.
And then you've got these
Your
here that
sauce
mixes
packets and your syrup
butter and
packets.
salt.
Yeah.
Now-
Now that's cool.
It's a self-tightening lid.
Well, not self-tightening. It's just self.
No, it actually tightens down enough to where when you pick it up by the lid on its own, it doesn't drop. It doesn't unscrew. It's a self-tightening. Like it doesn't go super tight, but it tightens it enough to where if you
It
actually pick
spins
it up from the
down
lid,
and catches enough threads to where it won't drop off.
correct.
I don't think it necessarily tightens as it just catches enough thread engagement to.
Yeah, that was the
That's
purpose of
pretty
it.
slick. I enjoy. I actually agree with that. This isn't 100% something we need to incorporate in our shit here. Jello, all of that needs to be done, and this too as well.
Yep. You get 2 different sauces. So you can use this for, where you got the Bondo, you got the 2 different things where in order to.
Yeah, they do incorporate that in glues here,
Yeah.
but the lid thing is pretty neat too.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that is.
That was just a dessert that they had. So. But yeah. The tailgate on an old car that did that. The same thing as the door for the fridge.
Yep.
So if you wanted to.
If you were in a space where you can only open it to the right, you can open it to the right, or vice versa. You can open it from the left. And then on top of it, not only did it do that, you could actually grab and pull it down as a regular tailgate.
What?
Yeah. There was 3 different ways you could open it. You could open it like a door on either side, or you could open it like a tailgate.
No shit.
Yeah. I'll have to do a little bit of research on that, but there is.
Find that because I want to see that.
Yeah.
Because that's really cool because you take into account like the and I forgot the damn name of it again. I love this car and I can never remember the name of it. It's got that damn center headlight that as you turn it moves in the direction that you're turning while the other 2 stay stagnant. Dad said it last time that we brought it up. Anyway,
the Ford wagon
for the
tailgate.
multifunctional tailgate. Yeah, grab that and next week we'll take a look at that a little more in detail. Anyway, that type of technology that we had back in the day that is really useful.
Well, look at the old refrigerators too.
The Tucker.
Look at the old school refrigerators that we used to have that had the half round.
Yeah.
And
then it's almost like a Lazy Susan.
Mhm.
For your refrigerator, you just spin it out, put your stuff on it, and spin it back in, and it all closes
and you
up.
can get to all parts of it on that deal.
Yeah. Yep. So
and there's other parts of it too that they revolutionized in that older stuff that we don't even see today still. And there are some of those refrigerators from the 40s, 50s that are still running strong.
Oh yeah,
and they don't use the energy that
the new ones do.
They say they do.
Yeah. The stoves and ovens. Some of the components of them.
Oh man, they had some really neat features on that shit.
Yeah.
And you get any of that stuff nowadays, it costs you 5, 10, 15, 20 grand for that crap.
Yep. It's almost worth it to get one of the old ones and have some old timer fix it up for you.
Which is a dying art, it's going to be so hard to find in the first place.
Yep.
It's just like automotive techs. It's a dying art. Nobody wants to get into the field because if you find shortcuts and you expose them, or you're like you give it to the next tech, and so on and so forth, that they just go, nope, we're going to cut your labor time down now. So what the average was on, say, just a random thing out there, an alternator that should have taken 3 hours, if you found a shortcut and enough people knew about it, and then somehow it got back to corporate or to the manufacturer.
Yep.
The alternator that you did in, I don't know, an hour.
Yeah.
They will cut the damn thing down to that time.
So there was.
Well, they don't have to pay the money out.
Right. So
if you find a shortcut, keep that shit to yourself.
My Jeep, the mechanic told me, he goes, in order to get to this part, we're supposed to take the the front of the Jeep off.
Oh God, you're right, Roger. Did you absolutely have to be a freaking mechanic and a computer tech?
So the mechanic said, "Hey, we're supposed to take the front off." He goes,
Mhm.
"I can do it without taking the front off." I went, "Okay." He goes, "All I got to do is I got to turn your wheel a very specific way. I can reach up underneath there, and as long as the guy up above has a light in the right way, I can actually see and do what I need to do without taking the front off." I went, "Okay." He goes, "If anything goes wrong, I take the front off." He goes, "But I'm going to try it this way to save you a little bit of money." I said, "Okay."
That's a good tech, though. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good shop because he's trying to actually save you some money.
Right.
Most shops aren't that way. They want the
Yeah.
book time.
Yeah.
There's a difference between dealership time and a dealership. I'm sorry. There's a difference between dealership time, and then there's a difference between,
Book time.
what you would consider like a mom and pop, but
Mhm.
it's a non-dealership mechanical
Yep.
shop. There is Mitchell time, there is dealership time, and then there's all data time. And I think there's another source that you can get out there to get like times on. But most people consider all data a basis for like your mom and pop shops. So your
Right.
non-dealership stuff. Okay. And all data will actually give you a more realistic time, even though it's higher. It's a more realistic time frame in the sense that, um, right, book time versus practical time. Okay, so you have a guy that works in a dealership and he works in a specific brand, make, model.
Mhm.
He does that shit day in and day out. He's going to be a lot faster than the guy at a mom and pop shop that works on
Absolutely.
all the different makes, models. Okay,
Correct.
so that's the book time that your mom and pop shops are going to use. So you can figure that you can go to a mom and pop shop with whatever vehicle you have. If a specific job calls for 6 hours, you can guarantee 99% of the time that if you were to take that same vehicle to the dealership, to the manufacturer that it is, it would be half that time.
And
But that's also because um, that's the difference between somebody who works at a specific dealership versus a mechanical shop that works in all makes, models. But
here's the other thing that
hold on, but the labor rate time is going to be different versus a mechanical shop versus a dealership time. A lot of times, your labor rate time is going to be cheaper than the dealership on your mom and pop shops.
the other thing is you take it to the dealership, they're going to hold it until they get around to it. Where a mom and pop place, they'll be able to look you dead in the eye and go, "We're going to start on this afternoon, or we're going to start on it in the morning." Where you take it to the dealership, and I've had it dropped off, and they go, "Oh yeah, we got it slated that we're going to start it tomorrow morning," and then they give you a call the following afternoon, going, "Yep, we just got it in the back now. We're taking a look at it," and it's like, "Hold it, you guys told me it was going to be started this morning."
But if you're now, that's not
I've never had a good experience time wise with a dealership. Now, I'm also not in a smaller town dealership. I'm also in a
right.
large
Right.
city dealership.
In a smaller dealership like where I'm at, yes, generally speaking, 90% of the time, if we give you a time and or an appointment, we're going to get to it at that time.
Yeah.
So,
Which is great.
but
I'm
there
just
are some mom and pop shops that are really good mom and pop shops that are backed up for 2 to 3 weeks or longer at a time.
But they tell you that in advance.
They do. Our small dealership does do that. They will tell you if we are booked out, and we will set you an appointment, and we will tell you that we are booked out for X amount of days and or weeks.
So, Pop used to work for a company that's no longer in business. You've worked there. I've done a little bit of playing around growing
Briefly,
up.
yes.
Okay, playing. We grew up in it, and they would get backed up, but they would tell them, "Hey, we can't get to you for a while."
Yep.
And people understood that the work and the quality that came out of that shop was worth the wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
And having that type of mom and pop feel and knowing that you're going to get taken care of the correct way was worth its weight in gold.
Absolutely, it is.
You know, if you can find a place like that, awesome.
And it's so far and few between anymore.
Yeah.
But also too, it's also that way because and this is a whole different subject we could get into
Oh yeah.
some other time, but it also depends on how you pay your technicians.
Mhm.
If you're paying flat rate and you're a garbage shop, people, the shop's just I don't even want to get into it.
So you were in New York with me at Buddy's place, Buddy JD, and he has a lift. Costs him like $3,000 to $5,000. It's a drive up on lift. Okay.
Mhm.
Looking at that and knowing what a post lift is, which one is better for at home to have it in your own place? Drive up or a post lift?
It depends on the work you're willing to. It depends on the work that you're doing. Okay, so your drive up lifts, your platform lifts are going to be a little bit shorter in height as far as working on them. It's still going to allow you to accomplish what you want to accomplish, but as a 6 foot guy, it's harder to work on those flat lifts, the drive up lifts, because
Okay.
they don't go quite as high.
I'm
So the
5'9". I'm happy with it.
The 2 post lifts, even at 5'9", you're going to feel a little pressure there.
Yeah.
They don't quite go that high.
Yeah.
But on a 2 post lift, non drive on, where you have the 4 arms that go underneath it, bless you, bless you.
Thanks.
You're going to get a little bit more height out of it, so that you could be a little bit more comfortable working under it. Say if you have to pull a drive line or pull a transfer case, transmission, hell, even just a standard oil change.
Well, JD's, his actually goes up quite a bit. I mean, I was standing up underneath it
Mhm.
with straight up, just perfectly standing up straight underneath the lift and could walk underneath it, and the car's going to be on top of that. So we had room to play with it because it was one that actually got higher.
I would say it really just depends on
What you're doing.
it depends on really what you're doing. So what I would say is, if it's possible for you to find a place that has the lifts already set up to where you can actually go check it out, get in it, walk underneath it, that type of scenario.
Yeah.
Figure out what would work best for you. So
Between the two of them.
Day to day, every single day usage, it's a 2 post lift. The drive on lifts are more for
Hobbies.
I'm not going to say hobbies because it's not really hobby orientated. It still has a huge purpose in the sense of you could do alignments with it. If you have the alignment machine stuff, you could do oil changes on it. Um, the 2-post is going to allow you to get underneath all 4 corners, lift it up. You can pull all your wheels and tires off. A drive up is going to do the same thing, but you're driving up, then it has to be lifted up. Then you have 2 movable
Yep.
lift jacks on either end. And then you have to flip those up, then you have to lift them up, and then you have to lower it back down so that you can get the wheels and tires off. It just depends on really what you want to do with it. The drive up one is it's not a bad one to have, but neither is a 2-post. Yeah, I'm not really
And what
opposed
about
to either one of them.
what about this managing weight balance and stuff like that? Because I've seen some 2-post lifts where they get into a mechanic shop and he grabs a hold of it, and all of a sudden the car just on its side.
On a day-to-day basis, and for what I've done for work, I've pulled motors out of vehicles on a 2-post lift. I've pulled transmissions out of it. I've pulled transfer cases out of them.
Professional versus
The only other scenario that I would be concerned with is if you were working like diesel wise, because there is a huge weight difference between a diesel engine and a gas engine.
Yeah.
You could buy a it's basically a triangle setup, and it's got a little I forget what the hell they call the damn thing, to be honest with you. But it's basically like a stabilizer deal that can go back underneath the front or back underneath the rear of it, or it goes underneath the front of it to stabilize it. So if you start taking weight out of the front, you would want to put this stabilizer in the rear, and it's adjustable, but it's basically like a screw jack. It
Yeah.
goes up and down, and you would set it up underneath like where the hitch would be in the rear or in the front. You'd go into the front and you would put it like under like a bumper support or something to keep
Yeah.
the front from dipping down or whatever. But most vehicles that I've worked on have been gas engine stuff, so I haven't pulled a diesel engine out. I'm not a diesel guy. I don't do a whole lot of diesel stuff. I do some, but motor wise, I don't really typically deal with a whole lot of weight issues. Once the motor and transmission, what I don't pull all the drivetrain out at once. It's usually just a transmission or transfer case, or it's just the motor itself. So
doing this, you're looking at what is the most comfortable to work underneath for the individual.
well, I mean, you're going to have a whole lot more room to play with underneath the vehicle on a 2-post than you are a drive up. Can you still pull a transmission and transfer case out? Absolutely. On a drive up that lifts up, you can absolutely. It's a little bit tighter constraints, but
Yeah.
it's still 100% doable. And then at that point, you don't have to worry about weight transfer. So
And safety wise,
no, it's absolutely safe. Especially the biggest key that is there is whether it's a 2-post or a 4-post, so drive up,
Mhm.
is making sure when you get it up, put it back down on the safety locks. Because if you don't put it down on the safety locks and you're above the safety locks and something fails,
it drops.
it drops and hit those safety locks. Those safety locks are not designed to catch falling weight.
No,
They're
they're
meant to hold weight
Yep.
consistently.
because they're going to shear at that point.
They're good. Yes, there's the shear factor because of the weight. So as long as you put them on the locks for that particular side of it, it is a pretty safe lift. And you have to also be understanding of where your lift points are and understand where the balance would be in the car. If you're lifting a vehicle and it's higher like this, that's probably not ideal. You want to try and keep everything as level as you could possibly keep it going up.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense to me. Waffle.
And it probably
I don't know. Scissor lift seems a little sketchy.
no, they're scissor lifts have their place, and
Oh
those
no. Yeah.
and they're not for doing motor transmission jobs. They're just not. I mean, maybe in a Porsche because it's rear wheel, but even then, it's kind of eh. Those are more of your oil change and take your wheels and tires off and do brake job type stuff. That's not a huge construction. Like I'm taking the motor transmission out, and that the scissor lift has its place, but it's not doing major mechanical work like that. Brake jobs, tires,
right.
if you got a Volkswagen Bug and whatever, but or a Porsche in his sense.
So Waffle, to your point here, my buddy JD that has the lift, he puts um, a sheet of
I think it's probably like 5/8 or something like that plywood.
yeah. It's good and thick, but he pulls his motorcycles that he can't use during the winter up on it, and so he's got all of his bikes up underneath there, up on top, and then underneath he can pull in smaller car or his wife's trikes up underneath it. So yeah, more room for toys.
A scissor lift, you're still going to roll around on the ground if you're doing shit. But your 4-post lifts, which would be your drive-up lifts, depending on which one you get, you're not going to be rolling around the ground. You're going to be underneath it doing whatever you need to do.
Yep.
And same thing with just a standard 2-post. Now, mind you got 2-post lifts that are, if I recall, it may not be 8,000-pound lifts anymore, but there might be still. But you're basically be looking at anywhere between there's an 8,000-pound, a 10,000-pound, and a 12,000-pound. I'm not sure, but they do. It's not really the standard anymore in the industry. I don't think it's usually a 10 or 12,000-pound is the standard. But they also have some drive-up lifts that are 18,000-pounders.
Mm-hmm.
So you could put some pretty heavy shit up there on a 4-post.
So, well, I think we're getting close to the end for the evening. I kind of like the addition of some of the stuff that you're more in tune with vehicle wise, whether it be like a recall or something very specific that you're learning with your schooling and whatnot.
Well, and I think the stop stuff that we talked about earlier is good for everybody to kind of know because they don't really tell you how that stuff works. And when somebody comes in and goes, "Hey, my start stops doesn't work anymore, or just doesn't work at all," and it could be just as simple as the one of 50 different freaking things hasn't met its requirement yet in order
What
for it to work.
what kills me is you go to the dealership, you buy the car, and they don't tell you how to operate it. Okay? There appears to be a nose trying to come in.
I think that was so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they. I
So,
think that the dealerships have kind of fallen short on that.
but they don't tell the people that are selling the car how to do it either.
No, but at
That-
the same time, you really can't expect a salesman to know that much technical stuff about it. They should some.
They should know how to
They should.
engage and disengage the auto start, auto park, and how to put it neutral.
Well, that's not all of it. There's
No,
forward collision too that they should be able to tell you how to work. Adaptive cruise control. I mean, there's so many
yeah,
things in there's settings everywhere.
those are settings that are a little more on the advanced side, but
That's still something that you as a consumer can go into your own vehicle settings and look at. But then again, that's also the other reason why the manual's in the book is in the vehicle too.
yes, but to know how to put it in neutral,
Mhm.
so it can free roll, should be something that you know before you take it off the lot. And the only way that you're going to know is if someone tells you how to do that on a lot of these cars.
No, your manual will tell you how to put it in neutral. 100%.
It will, but how are you? My point is, when you're looking at these cars and they're trying to sell it to you right then and there, they should tell you how to put it in neutral. It is important that you know how to put your car in neutral so it can free roll.
And explain what you're talking about in the sense of putting it neutral. It's not just putting it from here to here.
No, it
You're
has to be
talking
able,
about if the battery dies and you don't have that option.
correct.
Yes.
Okay, you've got that. You've also got it to where putting it from here to here doesn't mean it free rolls, because you can't have it. You can't just throw it into neutral on the stick. Okay, your little adjuster. You can't do that and have it free roll on a lot of them. You have to turn off the auto brake. You have to turn off the auto start. Otherwise, it locks it in place. Just like if you're on a hill, it won't allow it to go. You have to be able.
A lot of that's done because of the fact that you open the door, though.
No, absolutely not. You put it into neutral in your car. If you have the auto hold or the auto start on, or you have the auto park on, which they don't tell you how to disengage that at the dealership, it will not free roll.
There is no auto park. If the
Yeah.
doors are closed, seatbelts are on, there is no auto park. If you
Yes.
put it neutral, there is no auto park. The
No.
only way the auto park comes on is if you open a door.
Negative, sir. Negative.
What vehicle is giving you an auto park in neutral?
A lot of them. And we could talk about it just because of my line of work that I have to go through. That we won't discuss on here. But yes, I have to show people how to take it off the auto park.
Because it starts rolling on its own in neutral?
No, because it won't roll on its own in neutral. You have to take the auto park off in order for it to free roll. Otherwise, the wheels will not roll.
I just don't understand that because the neutral is not actually neutral.
Correct. It's not neutral until you do this and this on top of putting it into neutral. It's all of the newer cars.
I'm going to have to look into that now.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to tell you, Chryslers are good about not having that. Okay. Hyundais, some of your.
The only time auto park is going to kick on is if the door opens.
Nope.
On
Nope.
a Chrysler, it will. Absolutely.
Correct. No, I'm not saying Chrysler. There are other vehicles where if you stop your vehicle, put your foot on the brake, put it into neutral, take your foot off the brake, it will not free roll until you go in and take off auto hold and you take off auto park. And
So I
sometimes
can understand the auto hold because for whatever reason it thinks it's on an inclination or a decline, but I still don't understand how if it's all sensor based. So I guess I'm just kind of confused. I have to figure out which make models that is for
there's
the
a
auto park.
shit tons of them. And I have to, and here's the crazy thing is I'm having to teach the owners of the vehicles how to do it. Okay. And I also have to teach my staff how to teach the owners of the vehicles that, and
This is all intriguing to me. I love this shit. I love to figure this stuff out.
Freaking nightmare. Now, what's crazy is you get people that are 60s, 70s, 80s that they get into a new car because it's safe for them. It's got all the gadgets and gadgets and everything.
And there's just too much for them to figure out.
Yeah, they have no idea. Okay.
Well, it's like Pops was saying.
Oh,
driving around at night and people don't realize because their dash lights are on. They think because their dash lights are on that all the rest of the lights are on. You got those daytime running headlights that are on all the time,
Correct.
and their dash lights are on all the time. So they just cruise down the road, not realizing they have no marker lights, no tail lights, no nothing.
Yeah, they have their daytime running lights. Okay.
Yeah, and they
Which
can't,
are on.
which is stupid. How do you not realize the difference between your headlights and your daytime running lights at
Because
night?
they can see out in front of them. And it's also
There's still a
because,
difference in the brightness.
well, yeah, but the brightness in my car versus the brightness in my Jeep, the lights, astronomical. If I get in my car and I drive my car and then I jump into the Jeep and I drive the Jeep, I'm wondering if my damn lights are on in the Jeep because it's
No,
that much of a difference.
and I get that, but as an individual that drives their vehicle every single day,
Yeah.
and if they were driving every single
And he froze again. Or he froze. Man, this poor guy, he can't catch a break tonight. But no, Waffle, you are absolutely right. You need an app in order to run your car. It's a nightmare at times.
I'm
Hey,
here.
there you go. But no,
Anyway,
it is what it is on that. It's crazy. Um, anyway, I appreciate everyone that came out. Pops, I'm glad that you were able to get to the house in time to catch the back end of it. Roger, Waffle, thank you. I know that Shelly and Grim were here earlier. Mama T.
absolutely. And one last thing, and Roger's 100% right. People are not quite ready for the lane departure system yet. I could not tell you how many different times I've had to turn that system off because people think that there's something wrong with the car. Because the lane correction literally will actually start to move the car in the proper direction to keep you out of the lane over here. Not only does it vibrate, it also actually moves the car for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So anyway,
People, again, Ace, thank you for coming in. This right here is Ace's Dumb Criminals. The link is right there. Go check him out. He's got some good stuff over there. He did talk about a gentleman that was in court. I think he's heading back to court, I think you said. And you got some more video on this guy. Check him out. Ace actually gets in there and shows you what some of these really, really, really intelligent, deficient individuals are doing in courts. It's a good time. It's a good time. Go ahead and watch them. We'll be back out here next Saturday. That's going to be now. The question is, it's going to be Valentine's Day next Saturday,
Mama's not going to be here, so we're good.
and my better half is going, I don't want to go out in that nonsense. Let's go out the next day when it's a little calmer out. I'm going, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Roger, thanks for coming in. And we cannot end the show without seeing our most favorite of
Yeah,
individuals.
hey, hold on before you do that. Come on now, plug your wife's channel. She's helping us out.
Well, yeah, I did it earlier.
Y'all could check out my channel too. Just saying. Come on. It's the end of the show. Help her out.
All right. I mean, she did help us out earlier.
She did. She can't help me out because my internet just blows. So.
Katie said she's got her Crime Land channel, and she's also got Booze and Body Cams. Booze and Body Cams is Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm still used to Mountain Time, and it's been over 20 years since I've been back that way for any length of time.
I still can't figure it out myself. So
yeah. I really didn't think Katie Zed had come back. I know she went and got dinner or whatnot. I didn't think she'd jump back on.
That was a
Wednesdays and
minute.
Fridays. Yeah. And then Ace, Davis Hall. Yeah, sovereign citizen. I couldn't find more court cases on him. If we happen to see more, feel free to send it through his email or Discord. Hey, we'll do what we can. We'll send it to you if I locate something. I know KDZ and KFAR with Booze and Body Cams, they sometimes get a little bit of that. I'm sure that they'll send it to you also. There was, John Lindy. I know he hasn't been on here in a minute. I know he's been doing his thing or whatnot. Please, if you guys head over to him, he's got a good time over there. He keeps getting yelled at by the YouTubes for certain things and whatnot, but he still has a good time over that way. At any rate, thank you again for coming out. I'm gonna go eat. I got some fried chicken. to
End
go
our
eat.
show, brother. Give me my dude.
This guy here, always. Let's see, where's he at? Here he is. Why can't I see him no more? Oh, that's why. There we go. Do you see him now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many of you are familiar with the .577 T-Rex round. Today I'm going to shoot it. That was amazing.
I can't wait to get a hold of that rifle.
That dude just seems like a lot of fun. So,
have you seen the rest of his stuff?
I have been slowly watching some of his stuff. Yeah.
Which brings me to the whiskey wisdom part of this. Okay, is his stuff's AI. Okay, a lot of it. Okay, and we're talking about technology. Whiskey wisdom is you're going to have to learn it. Okay, if you're younger than Pops, and even at Pop's age, you might have to learn some stuff, whether it be AI, whether it's with the car, whatnot. Sometimes, even though you don't want to do it because it's nonsense, it's just like the pennies. They're getting rid of the pennies. Deal with it and roll with it and learn the new stuff. Just learn the new stuff.
My whiskey wisdom's just going to be: may your work week be smooth and your whiskey be smoother.
Y'all, I hope you have a good one. Thank you again for coming out, and deuces.
See you guys.